દીપકાનજી બોલાવો. I'll try to follow very slowly. મારું ગળું ખરાબ છે.
I
okay,
can.
okay.
Yeah, I can do it. Please, I will follow.
Okay. દીપકાનજી.
દાદા ભગવાનના અસીમ જય જયકાર
દાદા ભગવાનના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો.
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 ઓ દાદા ભગવાનના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો.
દાદા ભગવાનના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો.
જય સચિદાનંદ. Thank you, sir. દીપકાનજી, કેશવભાઈ, જય સચિદાનંદ. પુલિનાનજી, can you do three mantra, please?
નમો વિતરાગાય
નમો વિતરાગાય
નમો અરિહંતાણમ
નમો હરિહંતાણમ
નમો સિદ્ધાણમ
નમો સિદ્ધાણમ
નમો આયરિયાણમ
નમો આયરિયાણમ
નમો વજ્જાયણમ
નમો વસાયાણમ
નમો લોય સવ સાહુણમ
નમો લોય સવ સાહુણમ
એસો પંચન મુક્કારો
એસો પંચ નમુકારો
સવ પાવપનાસણો
સવ પાવપણાસણો
મંગલાણં ચ સવેસેમ
મંગલાનમ ચ સવેસિમ
પડમમ હવૈ મંગલમ
પરમમ હવૈ મંગલમ.
ઓમ નમો ભગવતે વાસુદેવાય
ઓમ નમો ભગવતે વાસુદેવાય.
ઓમ નમઃ શિવાય
ઓમ નમઃ શિવાય.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
Jai Sachidanand. Atma, we have been meeting after 2 weeks. Anything on Vyavasthit Shakti and Syadwad?
Yeah, Jai Satchidanand. I have one very good, I found one in the Navkalam calendar. This January 12th, there is one very good, statement. Can I share that? And that on that I will, I have question and experience both.
Okay.
Yeah, just a minute. It says Syadwad hoye tya vad na hoye, vivad na hoye, prativaday na hoye. Yeah, here there are three conditions they are saying: Vad, Vivad, and Prativad. So for Syadwad, these three conditions they are saying that these three things should be present, which is a test, which is a thermometer kind of thing. So you please translate what is the meaning exactly of Vad? It is a viewpoint, or what is meaning of Vad? And Vivad and Prativad means Vivad means conflicts, means arguments, and Prativad means counter arguments. So there is no arguments and counter arguments. This is what Dadaji said. So this is, as I understand, that Vad and Prativad, they should not be there. Dadaji said that okay, as a concession, Vad for us it can happen, but Vad and Prativad it should not happen. So this is what I understand. So for me also, I'm focusing on that there should, in the interactions, there should be no arguments and counter arguments. So as a first step, so Vad, as I understand, this is my understanding, that there are viewpoints, we are having viewpoints. So how to that will that is advanced stage, so there is no viewpoint also. So that is an advanced stage, but we have to work on that also. So this is my understanding. So, and as an experience, the situations which come, they do affect me, as I understand. Recently there was a in my help, and his son, they had a argument, kind of means major argument. So and it did affect me, that why it happened, I didn't like it, so it is a dislike kind of thing, so it didn't affect me. But the good thing was that I could manage it. Whenever some things affect me, then I go, play this Dadaji Swan, so then it, quite turns down the things, and it resolves, so the antaskaran quite turns down, so that is what, and then with help of our putras, then understanding of that also helps, So this is my question, is that please expand on this Vad, especially, and also on the Vivad and Prativad. Yes, thank you. Jai Satchidanand.
Okay, Jai Satchidanand. Pulinanandji?
You see, basically, what here Dada says is Syadwad hoy tyan vad na hoy, vivad na hoy, prativad na hoy. So this is basically one of the symptoms that if the speech or actions are Syadwad, then these things will not happen. And see, Vad Vivad is a Gujarati phrase, So that is basically argument and, dispute or a conflict or insistence on one's viewpoint, how I am right and how the other person says, no, I am right. So that is called Vad Vivad, And then Prativad, as you said, argument and counter argument. That is perfect. You see, that's the gist of the sentence or gist of the three words. And if it is Syadwad, then all these three will not happen. So these are more of the symptoms that if you are Sadhwad, then these three will not happen. Now these three are there. There is arguments, counter arguments, and controversy, and insisting on one's viewpoint, and conflicts, sort of a conflict. And then it leads into argument and counter arguments. So then it's not in Syadwad. So Syadwad essentially says, understanding others' viewpoint and having speech and actions accordingly.
So Vad is viewpoint, right?
Insistence on a viewpoint. Vad Vivad, actually, Vad Vivad means my viewpoint and your viewpoint. They are not matching. It's,
So
that way.
actually, Vad Vivad is told together, but they are different words, So Vad, as I understand, it is first we have a viewpoint. Dadaji said in somewhere that I don't have Vad also, So there is no question of Vivad, So means I don't have any viewpoint. Means I am neutral for everyone. I don't have a judgment for anyone, that this he is like that or he is that like that. So I don't have any opinion of for anyone. So there is no question of vivad also. So I don't. There's no question of insistence. If there is no viewpoint, then there is no question of insistence. Is it correct?
I just said what we can loosely understand as insisting on one's viewpoint.
Yes.
So Dada Bhagwan will normally is very free flowing that apde aam kariye to shall we do like this? I think we should do that. But someone says no, like this, so he says okay. So he did not. He had viewpoints, he had suggestions, but he never insisted. And even when someone was making a gross mistake, he would twice, thrice politely, tell him this is not correct, but then leave it. So that was the meaning. No vad means no insistence on my particular viewpoint. So obviously there won't be a counter viewpoint and there won't be a counter argument also.
So is there any opinions when Syadwad there is any opinion?
Syadwad means opinions are there, but you don't insist on the opinion. In my opinion, it should be done like that. That's the way a Syadwad person would put it. What should we do? I think we should do like this. That's the way he would put it. This is my viewpoint. They will not insist that no, you must do like this, otherwise this will happen and that will happen. So that is the gist of Syadwad. Syadwad means understanding the other's viewpoint. In one line, in a nutshell, Syadwad means understanding the other's viewpoint, and having mind body means mind, that is thought, speech, and action, such that the other's viewpoint is not hurt. So if I'm in the Syadwad mode, I'm not hurting others' viewpoint. So obviously there will be no argument, counter argument, and conflicts.
This mat, So in Syadwad, is there any mat?
Mat, everyone has, but there is no insistence on the mat.
Even after Keval Gyan, there is mat?
No, Keval Gyan ke baad there is no mat. After Keval Gyan, the mind, body, speech are absolutely not even in the control of the person who has attained Keval Gyan.
Yeah.
Because it's pure discharge. After Keval Gyan, huh?
Yeah, so this is the state of Syadwad. So Syadwad, as I understand, happens only after Keval Gyan, full Syadwad.
No. Dada was in Syadwad. Dada didn't have Keval Gyan. So
as I read, he said, I'm almost Syadwad, but I'm only 4 degrees short.
So that's a relative. That's relative. But to a very large extent, he has advanced in the concept of Syadwad. Let me finish, Baba. Let me finish. Why are you jumping in between?
Yes.
You see, basically, we are Mahatmas or normal people are having one level of development, one level of awareness. So they are having one level of speech and all that. Now, as the awareness of goes up, that's how Syadwad goes up. So awareness will go up, especially with Mahatmas, awareness of that I am the pure soul. So as that goes up, the understanding widens that who is the doer, Vyavasthit is the doer, others are innocent. And as that gradually goes up and up and up, then a greater awareness and realization occurs as to how events are unfolding. And that leads to Syadwad, acceptance of others' viewpoint, acceptance of what's happening with file number one, how file number one is interacting with other files. Now, this is a gradual process. So that's how Syadwad develops. And especially with our intention that I don't want to hurt anybody, understand this viewpoint and all things like that. So on that scale, Mahatmas are developing, and Dada had reached a pinnacle of that scale at 356 degrees. That to a very, very large extent he was in Syadwad. But technically, he will say that I am not complete because completeness will come like Tirthankar or with Keval Gnan. So technically, he has to put the things as they are. He has to put the facts there. But for all practical purposes in the present era, with the present people and situations around us, he had attained a very large amount of Syadwad, very large amount of that.
Yes.
Because why he says that, why he says that if in Keval Gnan or in Tirthankar, if someone is doing wrong also, he will not say unless asked. Whereas here, Dada asks, Dada, the person XYZ, religion XYZ, or religious leader XYZ is doing like this is right. Now, in the interest of the person, the asker, the person who is questioning, the questioner, that he may not get misguided, and that he needs to know the things properly, place the facts properly. He has to tell, by no, this is right like this is not like this. So much is right, so much is wrong. So at times when he has to speak against the other person, just for the best interest of the person and the clarity of the concept and things like that, he says, I have to say. So this is the slight leakage. Although he does Pratikaman after that, but this is his slight leakage or less amount of Syadwad as compared to Keval Gnan 360 degrees. But for practical purposes, it's all Syadwad for us.
Yeah.
So this is just to clarify that total clarity is Syadwad and this. That is right. There is not, I'm not denying the fact that that is right. But this is very close to that, I'm saying. Dada Bhagwan. And even if he reached to that level also, it's very good.
Yeah.
In this
And
lifetime.
yeah, and now why does other people Vivad and Prativad, it affects me, So in the first place, what is the
Ah,
solution I do? I told, so you can please comment on that.
no, you're right. You're right. When someone things affect us, then we must immediately, watch ourselves, hold back ourselves. Oh, conflict has arisen, arguments are starting, counter arguments starting. So just put a pause. We have to pause, understand the viewpoint, tell by according to me it is like this, and leave it at that. Leave it at that. Dada
So,
gave one very, very basic example. If someone says if I see that it's morning or daylight, and someone says no, it's night, I tell him just see, you look out of the window, it is morning, the sunlight is there. No, it's not. Dada says, oh, okay, from you are right from your viewpoint, and I leave it. There are many things he has said. You're right. God is creator of this world is right from Christian's viewpoint. He has not said it's wrong from Christian's viewpoint. So
that is
that's
right.
where the Syadwad, then ultimately it boils down to. That means where I have to stop on the counter argument category when he does, other person, the opposite person does not agree to my point, then you try to explain, he doesn't understand, say, okay, from your viewpoint it is this, from my viewpoint it is like this, and stop it. So that's where Syadwad, this Vad, Vivad, Prativad does not, come into play.
So,
That's
when the other person, two persons were fighting in front of me, so why it affected me? What was my fault? What was my weakness?
yeah, there was a little this thing glitch. I could not catch. Who are the
When
two persons who are arguing? You said something, but I could not catch.
yeah, my helper and his son, they had a
Ah,
big argument. Okay, so why it affected me?
ah,
In the first place.
So I don't know for what was the reason of the debate or the argument. It could be. It could,
Reason means they have different viewpoints. Have they, he the help they want some help from they are earning, so he wants some money, so the son says, no, I am not giving so much money, so the other people, you have other sons, you have to take from them, so like that, so a viewpoint difference, so it is argument like
no,
that.
yeah, I was trying to understand whether your helper and his son were arguing related to some work at your place or unrelated to the work at your place.
Unrelated, amongst themselves they were arguing, they had a big argument.
Okay. So
And
once
yeah, so they called me to intervene. So I said, okay, you whatever you have to decide. Don't fight. Don't shout. So that is what I said, and it did affect me. That's what my question is, that why it affected me. So it is what was my weakness there.
Yeah, I'm coming to that only. Before I
Yeah.
answer that question, why it affected you, I must know whether that argument involved you or your work. So as per your this thing, it says it was unconnected. They were fighting amongst themselves for
Yeah.
some money, some other reasons, and you
Yeah.
were invited for this thing. Now, why it affects us or why it affected you? You see, they had a difference of opinion. Father must be asking his son, and the son must be saying, no, no, you have other sons, you ask from them also. Now, here, two things affect us. One is maybe their bitterness, that they know very angry at each other, maybe the language they use with each other.
Yeah,
So, those things.
they were fighting that the son was saying he doesn't speak to me properly, and the father says that no, he doesn't speak to me properly. He
Ah,
doesn't
ah.
listen to me. He says he doesn't listen to me. You know, he doesn't consider me like that. Means on these things they were fighting in the argument. You know, so the son went away. You know, and he like. He did so all this affected me that I didn't like it, so
Yeah, I know. Okay, I understood. So basically, they were having an ego clash. But where
mm,
father and son both were accusing each other of he doesn't listen to me, he doesn't listen to me, and they were not on talking terms, and then they just separated away. So
yeah,
why it affected you was one thing was that you feel why are they not able to understand each other? Why are they unnecessary fighting? Because we have come to a stage where we try to appreciate, understand, and talk and negotiate and discuss. Where you found that they were not at all coming on the negotiating table or they were not in the discussion mode at all. So perhaps that is why it affected you. अरे ये कई कैसे लोग हैं ये? How what type of people are this? They don't even try have patience to understand each other or talk to each other. So when something essentially what I'm trying to drive at is essentially when something happens which is against our belief system, it
mm,
affects us. Our belief system is that it should be nicely we should talk, understand this that, and they were in the egoistic mode and they were just at loggerheads and decided to part away with
yeah,
animosity. Huh.
yeah,
So that being against our what we believe or understand, be against our value systems or what we philosophy or our prakriti, so it affects us. If they
yeah,
were politely talking to each other, 1 minute, just a second.
yeah,
If for some reason and they were politely talking to each other and you were then you would have felt nice. Acha, yeah, these are good people, they understand. Or if they listen to you, for example, when you intervened and you counseled one of them that do like this, don't do like this, and he agreed to it, then you would have felt bad also, good also.
yeah, yeah,
So essentially, it's our ego and our belief systems, which when it goes things go against that, is what it causes pain to us, or it affects us, if I may say so. So maybe the
yeah.
answer to the question is like that.
Yeah, it was like something like that. That because I had a in desire, that there should be no fighting, and there was fighting, even if after I intervened, I said, please quietly resolve the things, what you want, you talk, so they were not on talking terms. So I that is why I felt that because of my desire, that it should not be like that. So that is why I felt, so yeah, there was there you can I understand there's a ego there, my design, what it didn't happen like that, so that is why I didn't like it, so it didn't
So
work.
as you said, na, in your case, maybe you are deserved, but don't fight here, don't fight in my house. Why are you fighting? You don't like the
Yeah,
concept of fighting, so
yeah.
you are disturbed, and that is why it affected you.
So I have to accept that, I have to accept that and understand that and accept that, right?
So the answer is the solution ultimately is chalo, they were having a dispute. They asked you to intervene and you tried and it didn't work out and they went away with a little bit of heated arguments and all that. So here the way we have to understand is although our intellect will say what type of people they don't understand, they're not willing to listen. You must say, okay, accept. We have to tell, accept that in this world there will be prakrutis of this type who will not be so civilized as we are. It will affect us, but for them they will be okay. They are very comfortable with this type of fights and counter fights. So just from the Gnan point of view, Prakriti A fighting with Prakriti B, clash, you didn't like, you intervened, it didn't work out, file, Sambhavya nikal, full stop. Use all this Gnan and square off the disturbance within and come
Yeah,
back to Syadwad. The
I
basically Syadwad means seeing both of them as innocent from the pure soul point of view and the relative as a discharge. Both prakrutis are relative, are discharged, and just leave it at that. That is their karmas which they were squaring off. Their dvesh karmas which they were squaring off, and you have to observe. And, and you got bruised in the process a little bit. So that this was your part of your karma also. That is Dr. Kashyap's karma also, file number one's karma also.
my
So
karma.
interplay of the karmas is the way from the Gnan point of view, from the Vitrag point of view, it can be viewed and squared off.
Yeah, so here I did Pratikaman. Why? Because like you said, my karma, because I have some, the Parmanus, like molecules, that this happened in front of me and it affected me. So so I did Pratikaman for that, and understanding also I'm taking from you. So, with Dadaji's help also, and this is,
Pratikaman comes in case you have developed a little bit of disliking or dvesh for one or either of them. Then you go, why I'm seeing someone as faulty? You perhaps sometimes it happens we see person as say father as faulty or son as faulty. So if we see someone at fault, at faulty, or we develop a dislike or dvesh for someone, then we can do Pratikaman Dada, I could be Syadwad. Otherwise, it's just a matter of changing our understanding. That's all. If Pratikaman is there, then Pratikaman is required. Otherwise, we have to just remodify our understanding or perspective of viewing how the whole event unfolded in front of us. So that's one of the ways of also doing both options. Both options.
Pratikaman, of course, there is a slight element where I see the other person as fault. It happens, and plus, I do Pratikraman for two reasons. For one, I see fault present, and in the past also, I say that I must have done some mistake. So for that I do the Pratikraman. So unknowingly what I have done, I cannot see that, but because of mistake, my mistake that this has happened, where Parmanus are there. So when it is dissolved, then it will not happen. So like that. So Pratikaman means the what is as I understand that what mistake in the past. So counter to that, so it neutralizes plus and minus become zero. So that is what my aim, what I do.
No, it is perfect. It is all right. Seeing another fault. That type of Pratikaman which you said in the second half, where I must have done mistake in the past and all that. That is done when it is a one-sided affair with sticky files, where you are on good and polite and nice behavior, but the other person is on the hurting behavior, abusive behavior. Then you can understand that why no fault, no rhyme or reason this birth, but something of the past must be there. That is why I'm getting one-sided, it's unilateral hurt. So there then Pratikaman of the past births comes in, that I must have done something in the past, so I'm repenting for it and hence trying to square off this account here.
Yeah.
In this case. So anyway, this is just to put things in perspective. Whatever has happened, it's fine.
Got it. Thank you. Yes.
Deepakanandji?
Yes. You have to give me permission to share. I want to share something.
Yes.
You have to give me permission to share the screen.
Yeah, you can share. You cannot share?
Okay. Okay, now I can.
Yeah.
Let us understand what does Vad means. Vad means something which is truth and very fair, knowledgeable discussion. Fair discussion. Okay?
Yes.
Hold on. Okay. Well, here Syadwad means what are the possibilities of Vad and expected knowledge, that is relative knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
What Dada has said, everyone is right from their viewpoint.
Their viewpoint, right.
So what you must be wise, or how you handle the situation, understand other person's viewpoint, accept the other person's viewpoint, adjust to his viewpoint, and still remain in this center. Still remain in this center, that is, remain impartial, unbiased, and with wrath. Okay?
Yes.
So now let's go further. We said where there is Syadwad, then you are totally in a state of impartiality, absoluteness in principle. Which for Dada, it was only he intervened wherever it was necessary for the other person's welfare or for settlement of issues.
Yes.
Because of his unbiased, impartial dealing, he was able to handle differences, fights, family fights, business differences very nicely, because he was able to understand both the person's viewpoint. Because the problem is we don't understand the other person's viewpoint, and we end up making a judgment, and that judgment is at times very negative and very wild, which can irritate us. So here he was able to handle situation in a very balanced way because of his impartial state, because he was able to understand everyone's viewpoint, accept their viewpoint, adjust to their viewpoint, and remain in the center. Now we said, so where there is Syadwad, then there is no Vad at all. So let us see that. Hold on, just I will bring that. Okay, here. So here it says this Vad means very balanced exchange. But in Syadwad, there is no exchange. There is simply acceptance. But because Dada was on his path to absolute Syadwad, that's why he had to become perfect in Syadwad. He said, my Syadwad is almost of the level of Vitraga, that is Tirthankar Bhagwan. So here his intervention was only for the welfare of the other person. Now let us understand what does this Vivad means. Vivad means opposite viewpoint and very different. The discussion is absolutely like on a very fight basis. Okay? Yes. Where there is no acceptance of viewpoint. Everyone want to insist on their viewpoint and believe that I am correct.
Insistence, yes.
Yes. And now let us see, Samvad is a better, or it's a bilateral. So both in a very balanced way, their interaction is there with understanding. And now Prativad is also a wonderful thing. Prativad means to give answer or react, not react, I will say respond in a very balanced way. Prativad truly doesn't mean that there is a fight or differences, but you give a fair response. Do you understand? But when, so here we apparently feel that Prativad is good. Yeah, but Prativad is against the Vad. Whereas one who is in Syadwad, he is totally a different person. His interaction, this is what Dada has said, that he understands the viewpoint, accepts the other person's viewpoint, adjusts with the viewpoint because he still interacts. Whereas Tirthankar, Paramatma, all the absolutes, they don't have those kind of interaction, worldly interaction, where there is Vad or Vivad or Prativad, or rather Vad, Prativad or Vivad. Do you understand?
Yeah. Correct.
So here, if you just quickly go through your case, see, we at times become very sensitive when other people are quarreling or fighting. And it is because of our sensitiveness that we feel affected And that is where we cross the boundaries of Syadwad, meaning we will see one or the other person at fault, and one who is under pressure or one who is getting hurt, you will favor that person. And you will feel you will feel the other person is doing wrong. As Dada Bhagwan had said, if two people are fighting, then how would be the understanding or response of an absolute or a Tirthankar Paramatma? He says, this guy is hurting the other person, beating the other person, doesn't know the result of his act. The other person is getting hurt or getting beaten away because of his past mistakes. So he sees both of them innocent. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. Can you please share this document?
Definitely. I don't know. I thought I had shared, but I was trying to further investigate on that. But I will definitely share with you all. Huh?
Thank you.
So this is one wonderful thing you brought out. But then Pulinanandji, you were saying something?
Put this document in the youth group or something, WhatsApp.
Yeah, definitely. Because actually things have such a wonderful elaboration, but we can understand Dada went to what level of depth and expression and understanding. So it's a great thing that we have to go through all these, but because of his understanding of words and language, he was able to analyze the basic word meaning of the system, of a system, or not a system, but the word meaning. Not only just meaning of the word, but he could read the final, science behind that word. So living aspect, he was able to bring it out. And that's how he has said, what does Syadwad mean? There is no Vad, there is no Prativad, and there is no Vivad. Fantastic. Okay, Jai Sachidan, good you brought it out.
Yeah, if I just summarize this nice piece of information Deepakanand has put, I think he's got it from somewhere, dictionary or something. Basically, Vad means putting forward a viewpoint. Then Prativad is expressing an opposite viewpoint. It may not be a quarrel or this thing, And then in Samvad, it's a healthy discussion of thoughts. That's what is the summary of the literal whatever meanings he has. I think dictionary or somewhere he has got it from.
I tell you, let me tell you, first
I don't
of
know
all,
what is the source of this.
If you can go to Chat GPT and find, the Chat GPT finds it out from the world. But you get wonderful information, lot of information.
How you
But
do that?
even Gujarati words they give, Chat GPT?
Gujarati, Hindi, Sanskrit, English, anything. The language in which you ask, it replies you in that language. And if you ask that what is the meaning of this in Gujarati, then it tells in Gujarati. It's wonderful, let me tell you. And then we can always correlate with Dada science, what we have known, what we have understood. I think so. Meera wants to say something.
Yeah. Meera,
oh, Jai Sachidanand. Can you see me? I don't know if you can see me.
No, we can't see you.
No, now we can
Jai
see
Sachidanand Deepakanandji, Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand Rajikant Dada, and all the Mahatmas. I have one quick question for you. Okay, so related to Syadwad, supposing, I'll tell you this example. Okay, and it's not a great example, but it happened yesterday, so it is a relevant, it's in my memory. We had gone to the temple, okay, and there was a big idol, the Vigraham of Ganpati Bhagwan. So Ganpati Bhagwan, I know, we go to Ganpati Bhagwan and we ask for rid me of Viparit Bhav and Viparit Bhava, grant me real Bhav and real Bhav. I understand that. Now, however, when I went there was somebody doing Pradakshinam around that Murti, and they kept cutting in front of me. Okay, like in front when I'm trying to pray or whatever, instead of thinking like I'm praying within, I wanted to see this murti as I'm praying, and as I'm praying, this person was walking round and round. Now, I actually was getting a little angry, like inside. And then I, just like Kashyap Bhai said, I did pratikraman. I prayed to Ganpati Bhagwan and said, please give me the proper way of doing this. I did this so wrong. This is just Vyavasthit. This is just this. This is just that. So this was Meera fighting with Meera to tell Meera what is the correct thing to do. Now, how do I be in Syadwad internally, not externally, but internally? How do I do that? Like in that balanced mode.
Deepakanandji?
Huh.
Deepakanandji?
Yeah, first of all, when you are praying, this is a temple, anybody can come, anybody can do what they want to do, they believe, or what they feel right. Apparently, intellectually, we may say and think that the guy should go behind me.
I know.
That is the thing.
I know.
Maybe that kind of etiquette you may expect from the other person, but you can't change the world.
Correct.
So then, when you can't see the God, you close your eyes and talk with yourself or whatever prayer you want to do. Right? Because you can't stop that situation. Do you understand?
So the Vyavasthit is that person was coming in front. That is correct. Vyavasthit is also Meera getting angry about that person coming in front. I cannot stop
Correct,
that.
because you are expecting an etiquette. This guy should not be doing this. He should go behind me. Someone is praying here, standing in front of the God and praying.
Correct.
So why doesn't he go behind me?
Correct. That is absolutely correct. So, but I'm saying, how can I quickly balance these two fighting?
Just close your eyes and see the God inside. When you see with your eyes, it is physical. When you close your eyes and see inside, it is subtle. It's a one step further. So there, nobody will come in your way to your prayers.
Okay.
Because you can't change this situation outside, but you can always change it inside. So close your eyes and continue with your prayer with the same heart and devotion. Do you understand?
Yes. So that's
it is a very common thing because we don't have this kind of understanding that people must go behind if someone. In fact, if I am doing something, I don't even cross the person, or if someone is doing, then I go behind him. But that's fine because this is, I believe, only because we have understood from Dada Bhagwan that our behavior or our attitude should never be to the slightest extent that we hurt anybody's feeling.
Correct.
So that's what, correct? Jai
Yes.
Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Hey, Satchidanand. Before Pulinanandji says something, I just want to share something. We see this all the time. Supermarket, somebody cuts in front of you. Cars, you cut something. This is so common in our everyday life. So, we have to just reconcile it ourselves. Pulinanandji?
Yeah, you see, half of the answer is already given by Deepakanand. Basically, you got disturbed because the person was cutting off. Reason for that disturbance, it is your belief that when I'm praying to God and looking at God, no one must disturb or come in the way.
Yes.
So primarily, that is the cause of the two Meeras fighting inside.
Yes, two Meeras are fighting. But I need to balance. I mean,
So I'm just identifying the cause. It is, I believe and I expect that when nobody must interfere with me when I'm praying, I should not get that disturbance. Because you yourself may be practicing, as Deepakanand said, that I see to it that if someone is praying, I don't get in the way. Like now, people take photographs with mobile on any monument, then please don't come in between. So something like that, it's our belief system. So when anything goes against the belief system, disturbance happens inside. The mind or the intellect, aggregate pops up or gets activated. So that is the reason, number one. So number two, you must. There are many subtle ways of interpreting this event. I will just come to that. So this is one thing why it happened. Hello, it happened, so it happened. So what to do? Then anyway, you are communicating with Ganpati or the Lord. So then you can always close your eyes and continue your communication. Just close your eyes. Someone is disturbing for your mind. Close your eyes. You'll be able to communicate better or pray better. The heart and full attention, full jagrati. And then whatever praise you want to make samyak buddhi and all that, you do it. And then finally, then you, after your eyes closed, you have finished your prayers, then you open your eyes and again glance at the idol or the Lord before you, and then venerate with your folded hands. That's all. That means I've prayed to you. Now I'm looking at your eyes and I'm seeking your blessings. Final. So this is one way. Then if you want a very subtle and a very slightly different viewpoint is that at times it happens with me 80-90%, so it goes through whenever I visit any temple or idol. Generally it's there, but when I'm not able to get the glimpse then it is a signal to me from nature that kuch gadbad karke aaya, you have done some gadbad. That's why God is not happy with you and is not granting you the darshan the way you want it, uninterrupted. Or there'll be a little bit of jostling, a little bit of a tall guy comes in front of you and you can't, we're seeing, and someone, all of a sudden a tall guy comes and you can't get a clear view of the Lord. So all these things happen. So I say, okay, gadbad kiya hai. Anyway, eyes band karke, close your eyes, do your prayer. Finally, before leaving, I get a good glimpse of this thing, the Lord and idol, and then it's fine. My job is done. So this is your Vyavasthit. Another way of looking at things is, so rather than get disturbed, you continue with your work. Lord there with you, prayers always are heard. It's from the heart. But this gives an additional solace. The intellect is at peace. Oh, I got darshan for full 5 minutes. Nobody disturbed me. So this is the intellect at play. It is good. It boosts our enthusiasm. If we get such a thing, it boosts our enthusiasm. But if it doesn't happen, also we need not lower down our enthusiasm or get disturbed.
Yes. So that's how I'll maintain that balance. And Jai Satchidanand. Jai Satchidanand. Thank you.
Also, isn't there that saying? Oh, Salyaben has a question. Salyaben?
Jai Satchidanand Deepakanandji, Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Satchidanand Mahatmas.
Jai Satchidanand.
My question was regarding now that we talked about the intellect, the Abuddha state that Dada Bhagwan referred to. I was trying to understand because from his whatever I've read, the Abuddha state is basically where you don't give too much work to the intellect. Is that what it is? Because if you try to not let the intellect be overactive, there's a certain amount of dullness that creeps in. So that's what I'm struggling with, the kind of dullness and lack of motivation. So is that what the Abuddha state is, or how do we balance this to keep the intellect active and still not make it overactive,
Pulinanandji?
What dullness, that's what I'm wondering. So kind of you don't have many, you're not trying to get into discussions. So it becomes kind of dull. That's what I was trying. I'm struggling with that. So
you see, it's like this. All of us, all human beings are guided by some guiding light. Before we got Gnan, it was the intellect would guide all our decisions, do this, don't do this, this thing. There are essentially two lights which guide every individual. One is the light of the intellect, and otherwise it is called Suj or insight, very loosely in English, insight. Now, insight is darshan, and it's always in the best interest of the individual, whether it's an animal or a human being. So otherwise, we were used to be operating, or most of our decision making in day-to-day living was through the intellect.
yes.
Then we got Gnan. After Gnan, what happened? Prajna came into force, the pure soul light. direct pure soul light in the form of prajna started becoming operative. It started operating. And it was guiding us, prajna, especially when we made mistake. That is when file number, when one made any mistake, shouted, got angry, did something wrong, prajna will immediately pop up and say, hey, you're doing something wrong, come back. This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, come back. So then we are guided by the light of the prajna. But that generally happened in times when we make a mistake. Now, coming to your point, in day-to-day living, we almost take decisions by the intellect. And if you looked at the definition of a Buddha, then you say, if I don't have to use this, then I'm becoming dull.
Yes, you become. Yes.
Now, what is the Buddha that Dada Bhagwan is trying to say or drive at? That he says, I do not have this buddhi at all because I have the full force or the full light of the prajna shakti. In my case, ego being zero, it's the prajna which is coming through and through. Direct soul light is guiding me in all my actions or is in the observer status of file number 1.
Okay.
See, ultimately, what is buddhi? What is intellect? Intellect is nothing, the light, nothing. Intellect is nothing but the soul of the light through the ego. Ego means I am the name bearer. And once that is there, so the soul light that comes through the ego is called intellect. So we have, because the ego was there, intellect was there, and it was our guiding force in all our day-to-day living. Now that we have got additional light of prajna, so sometimes many times that works also. And as our discharge ego also gradually diminishes or reduces as we advance in Gnan, the buddhi also will reduce automatically and the prajna will enhance automatically. So the Abhuddha Dasha, what Dada is trying to say is that I have zero ego, so I have full light. I don't have indirect light, I have direct light.
Okay. Now I got it.
Okay, so that is Abhuddha Dasha. We don't have to become, what you are saying is, Abhuddha is not used, Abhuddha does not mean not using the intellect. You felt I should not use the intellect to become Abhuddha, and then you said that what to do, then there's a vacuum.
Exactly.
That dullness.
Yes.
So that's the misinterpretation of Abhuddha. Abhuddha means absence of buddhi, which will happen with us as the ego goes down.
Yes.
Okay. Now, till we come to that stage, what to do?
Yes. How do you balance?
So here the roadmap is that the intellect will play its part. The intellect today, discharge intellect, because there is discharge ego, it will play its part. But we should not get carried away by it, is our Purusharth. So it means how we will learn that simple example. That fellow is a nasty fellow. He did like this. We see somebody is faulty. That is the buddhi. Then we counter it with no, it was Vyavasthit, it was my Isab, he is innocent, he is Shuddhatma. So this Agnan, that he is the doer, he is the main person causing pain to me, this Agnan we have balanced with today's Gnan, that no, it is Vyavasthit, my Hisab and things like that. We have balanced the Agnan with the Gnan of today. So the effect the buddhi was causing to us, the pain the buddhi was causing to us by seeing the other person guilty gets nullified. And we are now converting that same buddhi, intellect, into samyak buddhi or proper buddhi. Proper buddhi in the definition or the function of buddhi is it shows profit and loss, advantage, disadvantage, good, bad, right, wrong, judgment. Essentially, that is the nature of buddhi. So when we did not get Gnan, it was Viparit buddhi that was operating. That means the buddhi would be showing profit and loss in our worldly matters.
Yeah.
Where my body will be happy, my advantage to my body self, worldly matters, the relative part. And in Samyak Buddhi, the same Buddhi shows profit and loss, but for the soul or the real aspect. You don't want to get up in the morning for Vidhi, no, do Vidhi, Dada's Agna. So that same buddhi is showing advantage in doing vidhi. That because it is it's in the for the soul, Shuddhatmana khatama, account credit in the account of Shuddhatma. Or why I'm saying innocent, I want to go to moksha. Forget it here. So buddhi is showing profit, but for the real. Buddhi is still operating, but on the real aspect, so that is called samyak buddhi. So that is where we all are. We are using Dada's Gnan and converting the Viprit Buddhi into Samyak Buddhi gradually.
Okay.
As we start using Akarta, those Drashti, Vyavasthit, Sambhav, Nikal, Shuddhatma, all that.
Got it.
So from Viprit Buddhi, we will first go to Samyak Buddhi, and after that we will go to Abuddhasha. We will gradually progress towards Abuddhasha. That is the roadmap. Now, what to do now? So now, whenever Buddhi pops up in your case, or in our case, for all of us, Buddhi will pop up. It will not go away right out, because we have a lot of belief systems, Pota Panu and things like that. So Buddhi is going to operate. But whenever Buddhi operates, our Purusharth will be to observe the Buddhi. Observe the Buddhi as a Gne, as an object, and then see what is in the best interest, and then talk with Buddhi. I understood what you said, but I am not going to listen to you.
Okay.
Not listening to Buddhi is the Purusharth we can do where it is not in the best interests, from the relative viewpoint or from the real viewpoint. So when things are okay, Buddhi, you have played your part, Buddhi will pop up. It will show good, bad, whatever. Okay, I will listen to you, but I'm not going to listen to you. I've heard you, but I'm not going to listen to you. You have voiced your opinion, but I'm not going to agree with you. Simple. I'll go by what Dada says. So abstaining from listening to Buddhi is the Purusharth.
Okay.
Or not getting influenced by Buddhi is the Purusharth. Buddhi will be there, but not getting influenced. So that state where Buddhi is operational, but we are not carried away by it, is the beginning of Abuddhasha.
Okay. That's the first step. Okay. Got it.
That's the beginning of Buddhasha. Buddhi is there, but I am not influenced. I am going by Dada's Gnan. I am going by Prajna.
Yes.
So that is the starting of Abuddhasha. And gradually, when it becomes in auto mode, that Buddhi gradually stops diminishing the volume of Buddhi, the volume of the voice of the Buddhi. As it gradually diminishes, it may pop up and go away, not pester us so much.
Okay, got it.
That is the step where we are going towards Abuddhasha. And finally, it's not there. So finally, I am pure soul, file number go, is being affected, it's observing, and you're not affected. So that's the final Abudh state that. So that's our journey from Buddhi, Viprit to Samyak to Abudh to 100% Abudh.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
That's the way we all will be progressing.
Deepakanandji?
Yeah, Jai Satchidanand. See, our obvious interaction and outcome of any dealing or any interaction is we end up using negative intellect. What it means, we oscillate between good and bad, and we make wild judgment about people, about situations, and then we react. Here, the Samyak Buddhi or balanced Buddhi will help you deal in worldly situations which is good for one and all, for you and everyone. So it will not bring any suffering or negativity to either party, you and others. That is Samyak Buddhi or balanced Buddhi or positive intellect. Whereas Sadbuddhi relates to favoring the pure soul and liberation. Okay, so this is the situation. Here, when we say Abudh, that is intellect-free dealing, so you end up using the pure soul light through Prajna Shakti to perceive, understand in a very impartial way and handle the situation in an amicable way. Amicable way dealing ends up again with positivity, no one is getting hurt, no, neither you nor other people. So this is how, when Dada has reached the abut state or intellect free state, what is that? That very commonly intellect is negative. Because today's time intellect is all negative, viparit. With satsang, it becomes samyak, that is balanced. And balanced intellect doesn't doesn't harm yourself or anyone else. And ultimately, because we have to surpass the karmic accounts. So for that, you need positive intellect, which will help you handle situations amicably. And when that is settled, the Sadbuddhi or intellect that favors liberation and pure soul achievement, that will happen and it will work. So we are in the process of overcoming negative intellect, entering positive intellect of handling things amicably, and ultimately, where we have been stabilized, we perceive and know what's happening to Celia. So I believe there should not be any conflict. So regarding becoming abut truly means use only pure soul light, but in that process, we have to pass through, overcome negativity, become positive, and then remain. Dada Bhagwan said he is in Gnata Drashta state, that is pure soul state. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Shubha, you have a quick question?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Two requests, one. Pulinanandji, if it's possible, you can give a reference of this sutra, which this Syadwad, hoy vad na, hoy vivad na.
Okay, I'll try, because Canada was made 10 years, maybe so many years ago.
If it be possible, if anytime you can, please share. Okay. And Deepakanandji, you go to this chatgpt.com site and ask question. That's how.
Yes, but then I make my own file and I supplement with what Dada has said.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So it adds to the information which is given by ChatGPT, but it is fairly good. It gives reasonably good information and insight into things.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Jai Satchidanand. Deepakanandji, can you do 3 mantra, please? Everybody follow.
Jai Satchidanand. Namo Vitaragaya.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajrayanam.
Namo Vajrayanam.
Namo Loye Savasahunam.
Namo Loye Savasahunam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Savapava Pranasano.
Savapava Pranasano.
Mangalanam cha Savesim.
Mangalanam cha Savesim.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.